Okay, so what we're going to try and do is model a viewline analysis from a train using Tyflow. So what I've drawn here is just some buildings, call them the Swinburne campus if you want, and what we need is a train line and a train. So we'll just quickly model that in. So here's our train line passing by these buildings and a train, something like that. Might make it look a little bit more like a train, like that. And we'll just hold shift to duplicate a second carriage, and then a third. Terrific. And we want this train to follow the train line, so I might even change the color of that line so we can see it. That's our train line, and we'll just make a quick group with the carriages. And what we want to do is animate that along our line. So with that selected, we go up to animation, go constraints, path constraint, select our path. If we hit play, we get a train running past the buildings, which is exactly what we want. Now, we need to add in the Tyflow modifier. So we'll draw it over here, doesn't matter. We'll go in and we'll open up the editor. So what we want to do in here is, there's a handy little preset that we can use. I'll actually put that over there. If we right click in the editor and we go preset flows, we can do a simple icon flow. And that brings up this little menu here and drops it straight into the scene. So it's quite small, but we'll have a look at, if I hit play, what that's actually doing. So it's generating particles, which is good, and we're going to use these as if it were your eyesight looking at something. So it's like an impression that you get of something. In this case, an impression of the buildings that the train is going past. So I'll pause that, zoom in, and let's scale this right up because it's really small. Make it nice and big so we can see it. See, the particles have stayed the same size, but we'll fix that in a minute. We'll rotate that so that it's looking at the buildings from the train. So we'll just hit rotate and go up to edit, transform, on the y-axis 90. There we go. And we'll just place that in the train. And we could have put it in our group with our train, but we can animate it just the same way we did the train carriages. So with that selected, we'll go up to animation, go constraints, path constraint, and just like before, we'll select our train line again. There we go. So what we get now is, and you can see if I rewind the simulation back to the start, I won't run it just yet. Let's get our icons, the shape, and just scale them right up so that we can actually see them. Okay, so I've hit play now. We get our particles coming out, and they're actually passing through the buildings. Not really what we want, because we want to be able to review the results afterwards. So that's a little slow as well. Your eyes typically pretty quickly can see what's in front of them. It wouldn't take that long for you looking at something to realize what that thing is. So we'll change the speed as well. Go in, we'll dial it right up. I don't know how past. Let's do 100, 200 even. That's better. And what we need is it to collide with these buildings. So we'll need to add in a collision. So type in collision and drag that in there. And then we can select our buildings. Go add selected. If we hit play, then I hit the buildings and bounce back off. Again, not really what we want. We want to know where the site is hitting these buildings. So back into the editor here, we've got something called bounce. And we don't want any bounce at all, so we'll type 0 on that one. And then if we play it again, now we're getting them adhering to the buildings. So this is much, much better. Hit pause on that. Another thing that we can do is actually trace the sight line. So we would like a spline to be drawn from the train to where it hit the building. So basically the path that each particle travels would then be able to be seen. And to do that, go back into the editor, spline paths, and we'll drag that on as well. We'll go create new, and there you can see we get our spline paths. So if we rewind to the start and hit play, now we've got all our particles shooting out and hitting the buildings.